Hello, good evening and welcome to Primetime News. I'm Nadim Majid.
And I'm Nicola D'Souza. We start off with a look at the headlines.
Central Bank to probe Panama Papers expose. Generator 3 at Norcholi stalls yet again.
අපි ප්‍රාර්ථනා කරමු තවත් තාක්ෂණික දෝෂ ඇති නොවේවා කියලා.
New appointments in Sri Lanka cricket. Sanat Surreal returns as chairman of selectors. Arinda De Silva appointed as advisor.
On our top stories, Sri Lanka is now in the spotlight over the Panama Papers and the illicit financial flows from developing countries from 2004 to 2013, compiled by the Global Financial Integrity Organization, which was published recently.
The Panama Papers highlight the involvement of 3 Sri Lankan companies and 22 shareholders, while the Global Financial Integrity Report states that 2.88 trillion rupees had been swindled out of the country in a 10-year period ending in 2013.
Newsfirst investigates.
According to Section 6AA of the Exchange Control Act as amended, no person in or resident in Sri Lanka shall, except with the permission of the central bank, open an account with any bank or institution doing any kind of banking business outside Sri Lanka, continue to maintain or operate on an account which has already been opened in any foreign bank, or close an account with any foreign bank.
In other words, the Monetary Board should be given notice of any one of those events before or after opening or closing an account. In other words, you cannot open, close or maintain a foreign exchange account according to the laws of this country without the permission of the central bank.
Newsfirst is in receipt of Form 1, Sale of Foreign Exchange, issued by the CBSL on the information required to release foreign exchange. The form, which is split into 2 columns, should be filled by the applicant to the authorized dealer, while the other section is to be filled by the authorized dealer, travel agent or the bank. This form is to be directed to the exchange controller to obtain prior approval before releasing the funds. According to the provisions of the Inland Revenue Act No. 10 of 2006 as amended, income tax is chargeable in respect of profits and income of persons which exceed stipulated norms as per the Act. According to the law, non-payment of income tax is deemed a criminal offence.
Income tax means profit and income. Such are taxable according to slabs determined by in various budget features of the Finance Minister. So if any of those are not paid according to the law, there are exemptions so that you can take it. Then you need not pay. But if it does not fall into that category, undoubtedly, a charge can be framed, and the court, unless you can offer good reason, will find you guilty or should find you guilty if you have broken the law relating to Inland Revenue Act or Immigration or the Exchange Control Act.
When closely analyzing the report compiled by Global Financial Integrity, it is evident that $19.6 billion has been flown out of the country, which is equivalent to 2.88 trillion rupees. The tax on this figure amounts to a staggering 960 billion Sri Lankan rupees, which is equivalent to $6.6 billion. This is the amount of money lost by the state as uncollected tax revenue. Meanwhile, this issue was a topic of discussion on the Face the Nation program last evening.
Bankers today don't operate as earlier bankers where you're just in a business of making money. Under money laundering regulations, if you look at the acts like FISMA of the UK, the Financial Services Management Act, that have brought in several new regulations on bankers' duty of care, which are with a furtherance or an extension, where if a banker's knowledge is triggered for any suspicious transaction, they have to report it so that investigations can commence. So there are several provisions of law that we can go after if we are really interested in bringing the perpetrators to justice.
These monies have been taken out and they have been kept elsewhere, so they have to be brought back, and after bringing back, it is necessary that they should pay the due taxes, and also they have to...
Who should be held responsible and accountable?
All the authorities. I mean, now in this case, the Exchange Controller, the Inland Revenue Department, both have a stake here. They have to immediately look at it, the numbers. I mean, what has been released by Panama is only the tip of the iceberg. Because Panama is only one country where these tax havens have been used. I mean, when we come to Cayman Island, Bahamas, even the United Kingdom and the Delaware of the United States, now all these are the tax havens.
There may be more than 3 Sri Lankans involved.
More Sri Lankan. I mean, that's why, I mean, they said, now Mr. Varnasuriya said, no, if you have a proper investigation, half of the MPs would not be there.
During a press briefing of the central bank, the governor had the following views on the Panama Papers.
Yes, we have, got some of those papers, and we are requesting further information from our counterparts around the world in terms of central banks as well as other investigative arms of various governments. But I don't want to jump to any conclusions in terms of names and facts that have been mentioned in the media, etc. At this point, all I can say is that we are investigating the material. We are waiting for more material to come. There are millions of pages of documentation in this whole leak of documents.
Would the government of Sri Lanka and the CB request for assistance or technical assistance, given that there is an alarming amount of money that had flown out of the country through illegal means? If they have put out a report saying that, would you want to work closely or even request for technical assistance from the GFI?
Certainly, we will be interested to talk to them to understand how they came up with these numbers. And that's something we will certainly take up with the agency concerned. If you have a contact number or address, please pass it on to me. I'll be very happy to reach out to them.
Based on the request made by the governor of the central bank to forward details of the Global Financial Integrity Organization representatives, Newsfirst emailed the governor of the central bank with the email address of Joseph Spangers, who is the co-author of the 2015 IFF report.
2 reports were released in recent times. However, no responsible authority has taken steps to investigate this matter as yet. Therefore, we have a huge issue with regard to the money that belongs to the country being swindled out in this manner. Those responsible at the Central Bank, the Inland Revenue Department and financial institutions and banks who sent this money overseas need to be summoned, and investigations need to be expedited as to how this money went overseas, where the taxes have been paid, and if not, the law must be implemented against all those who are responsible. In the same manner, the individuals, including company directors who took this money out in an illegal manner, have committed a crime. Immediate steps need to be taken to correct this crime. The government must now intervene to commence investigations into this matter, and steps must be taken to confiscate their assets, and they need to be taken over by the state.
On a related note, Vidya Amarapala, an advisor at the Megapolis and Western Development Ministry, has resigned from his position following reports that his name was connected to the Panama Papers.
A statement from Minister Patali Champika Ranawika reads that this decision was taken after focusing on the document leak that had led to much controversy.
Minister Patali Champika Ranawika notes that the reports linking Vidya Amarapala are based on the list of names on the persons who had offshore accounts in Singapore published in 2013 and not with the Panama Papers. The minister points out that Vidya Amarapala has no connection to those accounts. However, the minister notes that as a government that was mandated by the people to wipe out fraud and corruption and to bring about a clean governance, and also to ensure that the government activities are not marred with doubt and mistrust, the advisor to the ministry had decided to resign.
Moving on to more local news, Sri Lanka Cricket has proposed to recall Sanath Jayasuriya as the chairman of selectors. It was also revealed at a media briefing held today that Sri Lanka Cricket has decided to make several new appointments.
The media briefing was held at the Sri Lanka Cricket with the president of SLC, Thilanga Sumadipala, presiding over the event. We invited Arvinda De Silva to work with the governing board as our cricket affairs advisor. In addition, Charit Senanaika has been appointed as the manager of the team for the upcoming tour. The governing board has also made a request to the sports minister Dayasiri Jayasekara to bring back Sanath Jayasuriya, who has done a great service to cricket as the chairman of selectors after the 1st of May. The journalist also questioned about the controversy with Lasith Malinga and the World T20.
Lasit Malinga had made a complaint stating that he was sent by force to this tournament, while also making a special complaint against the selectors headed by Aravinda De Silva. What is the story behind this, and have you questioned him on this? Why did he make a statement like this if he was sent by force? And also Aravinda De Silva had said that he had an email. What is the truth behind this? Angelo Matthews was carrying an inquiry, but he bowled his quota of 4 overs while also scoring 78 runs in that game. If you saw the medical condition of Angelo that evening, you even would have been very worried as to why he played after using injections as a painkiller. The only reason that he did that was because it was a must-win situation for Sri Lanka. I'm sure you remember when Sanath Jayasuriya came back from hospital to bat after breaking his arm against Australia in hope of scoring 20 runs. His operation was supposed to take 2 hours, but he decided to skip that and batted on with painkillers. That is how Sanath and everyone else play the game, and we expect everyone who plays for Sri Lanka to give their 100% for the country. Are you trying to say that Lasit Malinga does not give his 100% for Sri Lanka? I don't know. You have to ask that from Lasit. You are making an allegation at this moment. I made an allegation. I was talking about Angelo playing for the country. The captain Angelo Matthews explained about the fallback of the team. The former selection committee and Lasit Malinga had made long-term plans for the team, and when I got the captaincy at last minute, we did not want to make too many changes, especially before World Cup. We tried to make minimum changes and get the maximum of the squad we had, but unfortunately our plans did not work out. Give us some time to settle as a team. If we make a lot of changes, it would only make life difficult to get out of this situation.
A generator at the Norochalai power plant has stalled once again. Ajit P. Pereira, the Deputy Minister of Power and Renewable Energy, says that this will not hinder the process of providing an uninterrupted supply of electricity.
The third generator at the Norochalai power plant stalled last night due to a water leak from the boiler. The Norochalai power plant adds 900 megawatts of electricity to the national grid. Generator number 1 of the plant, which is currently under maintenance, adds only 150 megawatts of electricity to the national grid. Generator number 2 adds 300 megawatts to the national grid. Therefore, power generation at the Norochalai power plant has been restricted to 425 megawatts. Technical and planning shortcomings as well as maintenance lapses resulted in us facing a very dangerous situation. Yesterday we were compelled to completely shut down generator number 3 at the Norochalai plant. The engineers identified the problem and decided to stop operations. The engineers believe that the generator can be repaired in 3 days. On the 15th of April, the Mahaveli reservoirs will commence releasing water for the harvest of the Yala season. This will add 350 megawatts to the grid. We hope that there will be no more issues. There are some matters that are beyond the control of politicians. According to the Ceylon Electricity Board, hydroelectricity generated yesterday was at 22.86% of total generation. CEB thermal oil power generation was 22.56%. 32.64% of the electricity generated yesterday was from coal, while wind power contributed with 0.38%. Operations at one of the generators at the Norochalai power plant has been temporarily suspended. We hope that we can restore operations by another 3 to 4 days. It is a normal maintenance matter. There is a leak in the boiler. This is not a serious matter. We hope that the demand for electricity will be low as many of the factories will be closed for the new year. The requirement of 40 gigawatts power, which was recorded at the end of March, had dropped to 36 gigawatts power by yesterday. This is a significant drop. As the coming days are holidays, we hope it will drop further. With this situation, we will not face a crisis. The third plant is the one that has not been handed over to the Ceylon Electricity Board by the Chinese, and it is still under their responsibility. If this plant is decaying, then there is a serious issue concerning the parts inside. It means that the situation that was shown from number 1 and 2 is now being shown by number 3. The representatives are saying that it will take at least 15 days to restore this situation, and only after that will the entire plant be brought back to full operational status. This is a serious issue. We only see them speak of this and there is no investigation. The Chinese power plant is now akin to a Chinese bicycle. From the day the Norochalai power plant was constructed, the plant has broken down on 25 separate occasions. Who was instrumental in building the power plant in Sri Lanka? How much was spent on the power plant? Who benefited from the project? At a time when the Norochalai power plant is marred with issues, is it suitable to go ahead with another proposed coal power plant?
A confrontational situation has arisen over the releasing of water from reservoirs to irrigate fields for the Yalla season. Irrigation and Mahawali authorities say they are prepared to release water for irrigation from the 18th of this month.
The Irrigation Department says a problem has arisen with regard to releasing water for the Yalla season since the cultivation of paddy fields had not commenced on time. Director of Water Management at the department, Mohan Raj, said about 300 acre-feet of water is being vaporized per day due to the prevailing dry weather condition. The Irrigation Department was informed by the Meteorological Department that we would not receive much rain until May this year due to the El Nino effect. Thereby, we had informed the farmers to make maximum use of the water we have stored and to quickly commence cultivation. Farmers say it is difficult for them to commence cultivation for the Yalla season immediately after the Sinhalese and Tamil New Year. Farmers in the Polonnaru district say this would lead to the waste of water released from the reservoirs. They say that they will provide us water by the 18th. We have no way of purchasing seed paddy. We need a solution for this. There is no point providing water right now. Newsfirst observed recently that the water levels of the Parakrama Samudra, Kiritale and Mineria reservoirs were at maximum. Many farmers are yet to sell the paddy they harvested. In this backdrop, farmers are unwilling to cultivate fields when the water is to be released. Then they will have stocks of paddy in a few more months and the farmers will be facing a crisis. They need money to cultivate the fields for the next season. In order to earn some money, they will have to sell the paddy and the farmers are unwilling to sell the paddy at such low prices. The capacity of many of the major reservoirs in the Mahawali project has reduced because of the silt that has been built up. There needs to be a sustainable solution for this problem. Farmers in many areas, including the Mahawali H zone, are calling for water to be released immediately. We got to know that we will be given water by the 1st of June, but we are not ready for that because we can't do it on the 1st of June. Farmers also claim that water levels of the Nuar Vavar, Rajangania, Nachduwa and Tisa Vavar reservoirs in the Anuradhapura district are at a normal level. Farmers in the Ampara district too are unable to commence cultivation for the Yalla season due to the lack of water. Farmers allege that while there is plenty of water in reservoirs including the Senanayaka Samudra, water is being released without any proper management.
Former President Mahinda Rajapaksa announced that he will attend the May Day rally of the joint opposition. He made these remarks subsequent to a media briefing in Tangol.
A group of local politicians from the southern province called on Mahinda Rajapaksa at the Carlton House in Tangol today. Dinesh Gunabodhana yesterday said that you will be attending the May Day rally in Kirulafana. Recently, the joint opposition decided to hold a May Day rally and called for the participation. I was chairing that occasion. Nishant Mudhuhettikama, the Deputy Minister of Ports and Shipping, also met with Mahinda Rajapaksa at the Carlton House today. Newsfirst raised the matter with the Deputy Minister. Are you going to stay in Gaul today? Will you not be going to Colombo?
I will remain in Gaul. I am cultivating plantains.
Are you preparing for the New Year?
I am preparing sweets.
We heard that you had called on Mahinda Rajapaksa.
Yes, I met with him.
Does it mean that you changed sides?
No.
Did you inform the party of this meeting?
There is nothing to inform the party. For 20 years, I have been starting the new year from there.
From where?
I start the new year with a meeting with Mr. Mahinda.
It is said that there was an objection over your attendance at that event?
No, I did not attend any event.
Still in the political arena, Sports Minister Dayasiri Jayasekara has justified his sudden departure from an event held in the Polgahawela town yesterday, claiming that the event had not been organised as agreed to at the Development Coordination Committee meeting. Area residents claim that the minister left the premises since the decorations for the event were in the colour green.
Minister Dayasiri Jayasekara was welcomed at the ceremony to lay the foundation stone for the proposed flyover in Polgahawela yesterday by a group including the UNP co-organizer for Polgahawela, Ajit Rohana. However, following the welcome, the minister refused to participate in the event and left the premises. About 5 minutes after Jayasekara's departure, Minister of Highways and University Education Lakshman Kiriyalla arrived at the location and the ceremony went ahead. As the chairman of the coordination committee, I gave instructions regarding how the event should be organized, who should be invited and the names that must be included in the poster. However, I had a problem with the fact that this was not followed. The SLFB organizer for this electorate is Tiki Radhikari, and he is also the chairman of the Pradesh Sabha. So when an elected official's name is not even mentioned and he is not accorded the due respect, as an SLFier, I cannot go and sit at that event.
Is Dasiri Jayasekara being sidelined by the good governance regime?
No, I have not been sidelined. There are many political fools in that electorate who cannot grasp whether this is a UNP or SLFP government.
The banners for the event featured only the images and the names of the UMP in violation of the decisions reached at preliminary discussions. The green color of the UMP and the elephant symbol were used for decorations, so we decided that we would boycott this event. The SLFP organizers did not participate in the organization of the event. They had been informed, but they had not arrived. It was organized by the UMP organizers. But when I went there, I saw that they had used green, blue, red and other colors too. But it was only green pennants that had been put up across the road. If the SLFPers had participated in the organization, there would have not been a problem.
No, that is completely false. There was no representation there. That was not the problem. If our names and the name of the organizer and the provincial council chairman are not on the invitation, then why should we attend the event?
A number of families in the Anuradhapura district were presented with the 2016 Samata 7 housing aid today.
The ceremony was held at the Young Resorts Hall in Anuradhapura. Sajid Premadasa, the Minister of Housing and Construction, presented housing aid to 840 families in Anuradhapura district. With every diplomatic deal, with every business relationship, we plan to make every farmer, fisherman, worker, middle-class man and public servants in the villages rich as quickly as we can. I would like to kindly request from the public to have some patience with us. The Good Governance government are not a set of thieves and are not a group that cleans out the treasury. The President and the Prime Minister have not come into these posts to entertain their close friends or family members. They are here to make the people reign supreme.
Delivering a memorial lecture at York University in Toronto, Canada recently, Navi Pillay, the former UN High Commissioner for Human Rights, made strong remarks on Sri Lanka.
During my 6-year tenure as UN High Commissioner for Human Rights, my office faced resistance and obstruction. And I received a specific request that the President of Sri Lanka wished to see me. So it was President Rajapaksa. And he told me that he is about to embark on a huge campaign to end terrorism in his country and that I should not criticize him. So when someone tells you not to do something, then you pay particular attention to that issue.
The governor of the central bank, speaking to reporters today, commented on the government's borrowing gap.
Well, again, we want to do it in a very transparent manner. The People's Bank of China, that is my counterpart, Governor Joe of the PBO,
Deputy Minister Ajit P. Pereira commented on the Colombo Port City project at a media briefing held in Colombo today.
Port City ව්‍යාපෘතිය තවත් බරපතල විවේචනයට ලක් වෙච්ච ව්‍යාපෘතියක්. අමතක කරන්න එපා.
Port City is a project which was highly condemned. The concept behind the Port City project is not Mahinda Rajapaksa's, and don't forget that. Port City project concept was initially proposed by Ranil Wickremesinghe back in 2001. We now have the chance to recommence the project. We removed the condition that was applied to the lands. We are pleased to announce that China-India joint company will be having the right for this, and the land will be given on a 99-year lease.
ඒ අලුතින් ගොඩ කරන භූමිය ලබලා දෙනවා.
It has not been formed yet. The Prime Minister reached into an agreement with regard to that in China. Some said that a large amount will have to be paid as a compensation when the project was delayed. Prime Minister clearly stated that any sort of compensations need not be paid. And it was included in the plan to build a race track for formula racers. That will affect the environment, so we removed the race track.
අපි එම මෝටර රථ දහවන පතය ඉවත් වුණා.
Well, we experienced a technical difficulty earlier in the bulletin when broadcasting comments made by the governor of the central bank at a media briefing held today. Let's take a look at that story once again.
Again, we want to do it in a very transparent manner. The People's Bank of China, that is my counterpart, Governor Zhou of the PBOC,
Well, that's a wrap of the news for tonight. Thank you for joining us. For the News First team, I am Nicola D'Zoiza.
And I'm Nadim Majid. Good night and good luck.
Take care.